Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Friends Podcast, man. Thank you so much for joining us
Yes,
today. If
sir.
it's the first time, thank you so much for coming through, man. We appreciate all the listeners. My name is Matt, and I'm here with my co-host.
My name is Rod, and this is the Friends Podcast. Make sure you check us out everywhere. We're streaming on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon Music, iHeartRadio, and YouTube as well. Make sure you check out our socials as well at the Friends Pod on Instagram.
Yes, sir. Yeah, we're everywhere you can even imagine. So, I guess let's start off how we usually do. What's going on with you this week?
This week, man, I'm just pretty much preparing for Thanksgiving for the most part. Gonna go home, see family. Um, Still just checking out places out here in Texas that I may want to move to. Regular work week. What about you?
Same old shit. I'm struggling right now trying to fix my mic and set it up right, but I had an eventful weekend. Went to Ann Arbor for the Michigan Illinois game. That shit was out
Mm,
cold. Like, oh my God. Great game, great close game. We was like row 13, so we was right there like when they was kicking the field goal and moving the chains and getting stops. Like, great game, bro. Great game. It was cold as hell out there, but it was definitely worth it. Other than that,
it
I
was
mean,
Michigan.
yeah, Michigan. Other than
Okay.
that, though, I mean, shit, just chilling, doing the same old shit I usually do, which is staying out the way, trying to.
hmm
But yeah, I
Michigan
guess,
won.
yeah, they won. So
Okay, that's dope.
yeah, so I guess we can go ahead and get into it as we usually do.
Yeah. I'm not a trader, so you're not gonna catch me at no Michigan nothing.
Who cares? That shit for the birds. If motherfuckers talking about, oh, you gotta be like, I don't care.
Like
And
you
we,
never gonna see me just celebrating the ops like that.
I was in that bitch really like screaming, like I wasn't screaming go blue, like that's against my character, but I was cheering them
My
on. I fuck with anything Michigan related, like regardless. So
yeah, my
I had
pops
to
was
cheer
trying to
them
play me, try to give
on.
me a Michigan hoodie.
Yeah. I
I'm
mean,
just like, nah, I'm good.
salute to all Michigan related things, just regardless. That's how I feel. But yeah,
Mm.
go ahead and intro this first topic while I try to fix this damn mic.
All right, so the first topic here we got is talking about work, and I know previously we talked about work-life balance, and everybody knows how important it really is, but this article was actually pretty interesting. It talks about three things that you need to have a healthy work life. I don't know if I have all these things when I was reading it. It's an Inc. article, and it says research says employees need these three things to drive their happiness at work. Because happy workers are more productive, um, they more likely to put in more work and to stay longer.
Hmm.
Um, we know that's a really big thing. It's retention lately, with all the tech companies letting go of employees, and also this new generation that's just not staying at companies just because, and
Right.
companies who aren't really giving out the best benefits or best pays. Like our generation, I think we're just we're just straight up saying I quit. Like we're not about to stay there for 5 to 10 years, and while the company plays these games, it's like if you deserve, we feel like we're entitled, we're deserving of, so to say, those salaries that we were kind of sold was gonna be a easy life, which later on we'll talk about a little bit more. But
Hmm.
um,
Let's
yeah,
run through
it's
those
like
three.
the three things in particular
Yeah.
is a meaningful and compelling vision, tie purpose to work, and the third thing is foster healthy relationships.
Okay. Let's start at number one. So, meaningful and compelling vision. People want to be able to see a compelling vision of the future and know how they fit in. So, I mean, I guess for your company, that needs to be like, yo, like this is the purpose that you serve here. Like, we want to promote you to this, or this is your role here. I guess everybody want purpose in life. Everybody want meaning in life, especially if this your career. Like, so I think that makes sense. And I think I kind of have that a little bit. Um, So let me see. Must leaders must link to organizational vision to people's personal vision.
I mean, let's keep it at number one.
No, I am.
Um,
I'm just reading more.
it's like me
Um,
personally, when I read this question, or when I read this number one, to me it just means like when I join a company, I want to feel like I can go up the ladder, and like I want to feel like I can go up the ladder in a timely fashion. Like I shouldn't have to be with a company for 10, 15 years to finally see elevation.
mhm.
Like when I'm looking at a company, I'm thinking like, all right, in 2 years, what can I do here? Am I gonna move up? Like that 2 to 5 year range, like there's got to be some type of promotional um that I'm least considering of. And if they don't have like any type of promotion in like 2 to 5 years, or particular pay structure that like suits senior level, then that's key for me to leave.
Yeah, pretty much. Because you want to see progression in your career. You don't want it to be stagnant and doing the same shit that you've been doing for 10 years. Same
Mm-hmm.
role. I mean, some people don't mind though. Some people don't mind being the same role and playing that same role for an extended period of time, but a lot of people don't as well. I would want to see some type of progress. I want to see more responsibilities, more heavier things, heavier lifts, more pay and things like that. Like that's ideal, right? Because if shit gonna keep inflating, we gonna need all this extra money. You know what I mean? So that makes sense to me, and I feel like I have that at my job right now. In terms of moving up the ladder, though, I don't want to be no manager or no supervisor. Like that's not something that I feel like will be my strong.
I was just about to bring that up.
Yeah.
Like, there's so many employees at a company and things of that nature,
Hmm.
and like when it comes to like moving up the ladder, there's only so many ways that you can really move up, particularly at a company. Usually, it's either you're gonna become like either senior level or whatever you're doing,
Hmm.
or whatever they may have level one, level two, whatever
Yeah.
it is,
Yeah.
or it's gonna be manager, um, and then after that, it's like director, VPs, and stuff like that. Like, not everybody wants to be a manager and
Nah.
control over a group of people and take on responsibility and making sure everybody else do what they're supposed to do. Not everybody like wants to do that, but everybody wants the pay that goes along with being a manager.
Of course. Yeah. And I ain't gonna say freedom, but like you ain't gotta be on the ground doing all the work.
Yeah,
You just facilitate everybody else doing their work. You know what I mean?
exactly. And that's kind of understandable, why people accept particular roles, but I also think that's the reason why there's a lot of managers who aren't good. Like,
Maybe.
there's a lot of managers around that's not really good at being a manager. Like, they were good at doing their job and their role, but when it comes to getting out of that role where you're like very specific and you're looking at the big picture of everything, and then you have to also make sure everybody else is doing, um playing their role into this bigger picture.
Hmm.
Not everybody's good at that.
I couldn't do it.
I've seen many of my managers who are just not good at it. Like, I could tell like they were great workers and like they know, like they're very knowledgeable, but they're not good at leading a team.
Yeah.
Like,
It's
I don't
certain
want I don't even want
characteristics.
to get too specific about who and who, but yeah, I got a manager, previously or whatever. Like, with the pandemic and everything, like they like to be at home. Like, if you like to be at home and stuff like that, and you don't really like to be in the office like that, manager is probably not the best role for you. Um, Manager is like, ideally you're gonna want a people person to be your manager. I know that can ruffle people's feathers because it's like, oh, it's like the person who does the job the best should be the manager, and that's like, I don't believe
No,
that's true.
no, that's not
It's
true at
not the
all.
person who, like, because it's like a lot of people can do that role. Like, if someone was to lose their job or whatever, like the company's gonna fill the role. They're gonna find someone to do those particular tasks.
Yeah, somebody
Um,
gonna do it.
yeah, exactly. They're gonna find someone else to do it. Um, but you need someone who can foster like people wanting to like stay there and be happy in what they're doing and like feel like they're elevating and feel like they're doing what they're doing is important, which kind of leads to like the next one here. Um, the next one was tie purpose to work. I feel like managers are really good at helping employees tie purpose to work.
They should be.
Yeah, they should be like that should be the ideally what a manager is supposed to do. They're supposed to make you feel like what you're doing is important to a big picture. Um,
Even when it's not, because sometimes it really don't be mattering. But yeah, like, oh yeah, this if you do this, they're counting on you. Like it's certain things that they have to say to make you buy in and be like, damn, I'm not just doing nothing meaningful or meaningless, excuse me. Like I'm doing something that's really changing the world, like quote unquote. Like
exactly. And the best managers do that really well. And CEOs, like when you get to like that level, like that's really what they're doing. They're just trying to get people to feel like what they're doing has a big purpose and that we're not just some number in a factory
most of the
or in an
times we are
office.
though.
Like
Most of the
we
times
are
we
though.
are
That's
just a number. A number. Go ahead.
that's that's definitely how I feel. Like I was just saying, like people be acting like if your job was gone or you left the earth today, like there ain't gonna be somebody else that just pick up what you do.
Right there. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Like even if you CEO or something, like someone else just gonna be the CEO of it.
Yeah. That's true. I
Like
think that's just a real way of looking at it. I feel like I'm a realist, and that's just what it is. Like I feel like I can still have purpose and find purpose in my work, and still realize like if I left today, they'll just fill my spot. Like that's a lot of people's realities. But I'm still gonna work as hard as I can because that's just what I'm about to do. But yeah, like you said, managers. I feel like there's a few characteristics that they would need to have. Like they have to have a certain sternness. Like you can't be all buddy buddy with your manager because then when you buddy buddy, you could be
I
like,
see.
damn.
I don't like that idea. Like you gotta be stern. Like you're not my parent. No, don't be stern with me. Like
I feel like there has to be times. Sometimes it's times when it's just like,
nah,
get your work done. Like, what are you doing? Or like,
no.
do this. Like, stop coming in late. Stop.
I feel like there's a way to. Okay, that's that. Okay, we get into like those little petty things. I feel like an adult who, and I'm saying an adult knows to go to work. An adult knows that this is his task. I'm not talking about just coming in later or whatever like that. Like I'm
Mhm.
just talking about like just not doing your work.
Not producing. Yeah.
Like majority of people, I ain't gonna say majority, but people know their role and what they're supposed to get done. And there's normally everyone normally when you join a company, you'd be like, yo, what is expected of me in this time frame, or what is my duty? Like you should know that very well.
Hmm.
Like saying that after at the end of the day, after that is all taken care of and you figure that out, then it's like, all right, like if you don't do the job well, like, I understand there's definitely like it's up to your manager to help you out where you're not doing well. I'm not just talking about again, I'm not just talking about just being late or whatever, because that's just like you're just not being responsible.
Right.
But when it comes
That's
to
just
doing the
you.
work and you're just not good like at the work particularly, it just means that you need more assistance to do your role
But
in a
what's the
sense.
level?
And
What's
that's
the
something
level?
about a manager would help out and do
Yeah, they should. But like, what's the level of
or
like, I'm
find
gonna help
somebody.
you? What's the level like, oh, you're incompetent? Like, there's also a level there. So it's like, you got, like I said, you got to be stern and be like, yo, if you don't do this shit, if you can't learn this task, if you can't produce things, and you got to go, or we're gonna have to do something. You know what I mean? Like you have to have that type of thing. That's why I feel like
Oh
I wouldn't
yeah.
be a good manager because I feel like I would be stern. I wouldn't be. It ain't nobody buddy. Like do your shit. I don't know how to talk to people the right way because I can't do that because you gotta be a morale booster. I'm not a morale booster like that. Um,
For
but
sure. Like there was a little job I had back in the day in the lab. And I feel like I was like that stern person. Like, I would just be like, yeah, like make your calls. Like, but as long as you did it, it wasn't like I'm not on you like that.
Yeah.
Like as long as we met our numbers and blah blah blah, like I'm not tripping. But
Hmm.
yeah, I mean, I some people be trying to make the manager like they're so nice, they be trying to take advantage of them. Like I can see that, but I find majority of adults like they don't really be trying to do that shit.
Not really. Not really. I
Like,
mean, and that's the thing. Like when, especially when you're an adult, like having a manager is like, okay, like you said, it's kind of like a parental type thing sometimes. But like, if you're not on your shit already as an adult, like, what can we really do for you? We can only lead you
yeah,
so far.
when I think of a manager, I more or less I think as them as like a mentor,
Hmm. Hmm.
like somewhere some person that they have something that I want to accomplish through work or what I'm doing, what I eventually want to get up to that stature.
Hmm. They've
That's
done
kind
what
of
you've
how like
done.
I see it. Like I'd be like I have to see in them like where I feel I could be
Hmm.
in a sense. I don't think of them as a stern figure because I've definitely had those bosses where they try to be super stern, but they just really just come off as a fucking dickhead. Like we know what we're supposed to do. We don't need you to add in for like I don't want to be particular. Like my last company for sake in New York or whatever. Dude, man, like it'd be like the smallest thing, like, and he would just blow up, like in a sense to be like, if you don't do this, you can get the fuck out of here. Like you can just quit right now or blah blah blah. Like he'll just say things like that.
Mm.
But there's a right way to say things. Like coming at people like that, like if there's a particular person that you're irritated with, it's like have a conversation with them directly.
No, that's
Like
real.
don't send an email off like in a passive aggressive email off to the entire team.
Don't do
And
that. Nah.
and I've never seen a manager really do that to like my last job where the manager really just be sending off passive aggressive emails. Like if you feel like someone's not doing something.
Right. Talk to the motherfucker that it apply to. Don't talk to me about it because I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I
Or
don't like that.
our managers, some managers like that, it creates a toxic workplace because
It does.
it's like y'all eventually like you have a strong personality, y'all gonna combat each other eventually at some point. Like you're gonna go back and forth. It's like, wait, like I don't like the way like how you said that or like that's not the proper way or channel that like to do what you're saying. Like
Like,
if you have a strong personality.
hmm, like
So
we
it's like me
adults.
personally, yeah, it's like I had dude like he came at me a certain way and I was just like, yo, no, like I ain't allow that.
No.
Like I mean it was like no, I was like I don't agree with what you're saying. Like I like I hear you, but I don't that's not what I agree. I mean, he was kind of just got off on his high horse saying
All
like,
right.
man, I'm the manager and what I say go. I'm like, nah, like that's not the way it go.
Is it
Like,
though? Shouldn't that be what it is? Like, I mean, of course, I feel like you should be able to push back to your manager, but most of the times, like what your manager just says goes if you work under a manager, right?
yeah, it depends. I was a consultant, just to
Hmm.
give a little bit of context.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it was like projects all over like that. It was like a team of us working on. So it was only like a small group of us working on a project. So it's just like it's the structure that as like a big company that I'm in now, where there's many employees all like utility and we're all here for blah blah blah. There it's like a small team. We all kind of got like equal divvied up roles and responsibilities, like to complete the shit
Hmm.
in a sense. It's like we all like we like us like the it's a small group. Like we all know like what's supposed to go on and blah blah blah. And if someone says like, "Oh, you not doing something," blah blah blah, it's like if I wasn't, would the job not get done? Like, what are you talking about? Like, it was just obvious. Like, it didn't make sense.
Right,
So it's
right.
like I can obviously push back because it's like if I'm not here, like this is a small team, you're gonna have trouble like immediately picking someone up.
That is true, especially because, like you said, the job market a little shaky right now, but it is a lot of people getting laid off looking for something too. So they might
Yeah,
just jump in.
it's different when you have like small teams and big company wide. Like it just runs different. And that's what I really realized.
Oh, I see what you mean. So it's like a small team and a bigger team. Okay.
Yeah, it's like a small team in that project in months.
Right.
Like working at a real corporate office and hundreds of employees and like that's typical. But like 4 or 5 people, it's like, man, we all working to get this shit done.
Mm-hmm,
Like,
mm-hmm. All right, let's
like
jump
no
into
one's
number.
really like some people are doing a little bit more, some people doing of course, but overall, like we all kind of the boss of this shit. Like there was no one that like looked over what I was doing. I can say, or anybody on the team.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Like we just had our task every day, and it was just like, all right, get this done for the day. Blah blah blah. There was no one overlooking or blah blah blah. It was just like it was understood that we got what we supposed to do done.
All right, let's hop into number three right quick. So, number three on the list of the three things to drive happiness at work is fostering healthy relationships. So, it says the research states that close, trusting, and supportive relationships lead to strong collaboration and are critically important to people's state of mind at work. So, basically, are y'all friends? Like, are y'all cool? Are y'all friends? Can y'all chat about life and about work, personal and professional affairs at the same time? Um, this is something that I don't have at this very moment at my job. I'm very to myself. I have a couple of people, that I can count on to actually talk about personal matters and things like that. Not even that crazy personal, but like maybe opening up like slightly. But for the most part, I don't really have, healthy, interpersonal slash professional relationships at work. I think that's important though. I think it is important because you do spend a lot of time at work. You spend 40 hours plus a week at work. So you need to have somebody there. Like you spend more time with them than your family. You know what I'm saying? The waking days. The waking hours of the day. So I think it's
I feel
important,
like
but
that's very hard. Me particularly, like for diverse people like myself, like Black people, it's hard
yeah.
for me to find people at work that I relate to. Um,
Preach.
like that's really like the biggest issue that I feel comfortable divulging certain things to.
Right. I can't be
Um,
myself for real.
yeah, exactly. It's all this idea of like growing up that hey, you have to act a certain way at work and Black people have to switch up their voice and
Hmm.
around these people and almost act phony. It's not the same way you will be around your own people.
I can't. I be thinking about that when I'm at
So
work, like, cause like if I'm trying to talk to them, I'd be like, damn, I can't talk to them like I talk to Rod or I talk to any of my other friends. Like me and you, we just kick it. It's easy. But like at work, it's really not that easy for me to like communicate because I can't say say it in the way that I would say it normally. So I have a
and
little
that's the thing.
slang. Go ahead.
Yeah, it's just a comfortability. Like it takes time for me to get comfortable with someone as well
Yeah,
to
that's
even
true.
get to that point of talking a certain way.
That is very true.
I feel the
Same.
same amount of like from other people as well. Like I don't want someone really talking to me a certain way. Like unless I feel like we talked, had a good amount of conversation back and forth. We worked with each other for a little bit. Then I feel like, all right, go ahead and put your little sly jokes in. But until then, it's like, damn, dog, like, like
Nah.
relax.
If I can't get my jokes in the way I want to get my jokes in, I don't even want to hear no jokes. Cause I cut deep. It's not even I cut deep, but I have a different type of sense of humor. Like it's dark, so I can't. It's certain shit you can't say at work. Like regardless, it's just some type of shit that you really can't say. But
Yeah,
it is something that
you can't say DEFCON.
you definitely can't. So is this something that you
Like
struggle with before? Like, how do you feel like when you at work and it's like, do you approach people first to try to get to know them, or do you kind of wait?
before I get there, I
Okay,
got
okay.
one thing.
Yeah,
So I feel like a barbershop is the best place when you hear just conversations and stuff like that. And the thing is, me particularly, I haven't been in a barbershop in a while
same.
because like I had a home barber, like they would come through and cut my hair in Jersey. So like now that I've been going back to the barbershop and stuff, like I hate it. Like I hate barbershops.
I've been hated the barbershop for so long.
Like I don't typically like it, but um anyways, they was having this conversation and man, it was so many like topics that they talked about. They talked about the takeoff. Um, they talked about Brittany Griner, and like it was a bunch of other shit that. But I was almost shocked to hear like they had a similar feeling, like but what I think about shit, like they felt the same way.
Hmm.
So it's like a lot of it made me kind of like I take the barbershop as like what black people typically say
It's like a
for it's like
barometer.
topics.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like if what I'm saying, like I thought what I was saying was real crazy, but I'm like, oh shit, like all the niggas is really feeling this way.
No,
Like,
you didn't
like we all
know.
felt the same way about Kyrie and like the
Yep.
and the Jewish people. Like even they was in there saying like,
I
yeah,
know
they,
they was
they is
wild.
taking control.
They was
Like,
wild. I know they was
yeah,
wild.
they was like Brittany Griner, like yeah, she deserved that shit. Like she thought she can just go over there and act silly. Like
Hey,
like why was she over there anyway? Like that's like the same thing I'd be thinking like, man, why you over there? Like you know we at war. Like we don't really mess with each other like
that
that.
was before that. Well, yeah, we ain't mess with each other, but yeah, yeah. Go ahead though. That's
Yeah, it's
beside the
just
point.
yeah, but overall, I'm just saying, like, man, I was at the bar shop, I'm just like, man, like some of the things that we be discussing, I'm like, a lot of black people do feel these things and feel these ways.
So are we
So
a
it's like when it
monolith?
comes, yeah, maybe we more mindless than we think, like our ideas and things of that nature.
Yeah.
Um, I feel like it's this idea of people being politically correct. Like it's such a big thing these days. Like you asshole, blah blah blah, and it's like when has black people ever been politically correct? Like it ain't.
Mm, in
That's
what
not
sense
really.
though?
We just kind of more or less we say normally for like we say what shit is.
Yeah.
Like we tell her how it is. Like for the most part.
Cause that's all we know how to do. Because all we, excuse me, all we seen is what it is. So we gotta, we just gotta keep it real. I feel like we look at shit from a different lens than other people, which is fine. I feel like everybody lens can be, you know what I'm saying? Everybody lens matters, but I just feel like our shit different sometimes, black people lens. But so you said you hate the barbershop now. Like you're not really looking forward to going back.
I never fucked with the barbershop.
Yeah, nah, I
Like
never did.
the whole just like the idea of a bunch of people just yelling around, talking about topics
Oh,
like, yeah, I mean sometimes it's funny and shit like that, but it's just like I don't like to wait. Like, I ain't trying to wait for like
that
to
too.
get in the chair.
Yeah.
That's one. Really, that's like the main thing for me is just waiting. Like once I get there and I set an appointment, like I'm trying to sit down.
Hmm.
Like I'm not trying to play. I don't want to usually like a I don't like a barbershop with a bunch of barbers. Like it's just too many people. Like I don't really like all that. Like I don't mind like a shop like if it's like two or three,
Yeah, yeah.
like super intimate kind of thing. But I'm not into like a bunch of people just all around yelling and going back and forth talking about shit.
And that's
I'm
the
not.
thing. That's the thing about barbershop talk. Niggas be thinking that just because they loudest mean that they the rightest. Like, I hate niggas just yelling and saying shit. Like, niggas don't be talking about nothing in the barbershop. It be bullshit. And niggas
It
just be
do be
yelling.
it be all bullshit. Like it don't be nothing about embedment of people or nothing.
Nothing.
It just be whatever's on social media. Like that's literally at the barbershop talk. Like
Yeah. Yeah, that's
it's just
really what that
cultural black shit. Like
that was the first Twitter for real. That was the first black Twitter. Low
yeah.
key.
So it's
Um,
just looking at that and I'm like, it just be shit that I like. I'm just not interested to normally talk about. Like, of course, I talk about those things on this podcast, but I'm not interested to talk about that shit with like like everyone or like
conversation because nigga just be yelling and saying shit. Nobody really getting no point across for real. Nigga just yelling like
right.
it's not no just like Twitter. It's not conducive to having a good, healthy,
If
productive
if
conversation.
it feels like the shot like LeBron kind of like way, then all right. Like I probably I can fuck with that like
That's a
format
little
because they
different.
like they let each other talk and they get like their point
Exactly.
across.
Right.
But that's not the typical barbershop. Like people ain't letting people go in rows and blah blah blah, asking like what you guys say about this kind of like thing. Like that's why I like smaller shops better. Like when
Hmm.
it's like a couple like cool people instead of like everybody in a room with opinion like yelling and shit. It just be like
Yeah.
it's too much chatter like in too many different places.
No, they ain't gonna
It's
be like
like
one at a time or like, oh Rod, so what do you think about this? I'm like, that's not about to happen at the
hmm
barbershop. Which is cool, like, you know what
it's
I'm
not a
saying?
conversation to me. It's not like it's not something I want to partake in.
Yeah.
Like I'm not about to yell and
No.
do all that. Like
We good. Like I'm good. I listen though. I would definitely listen to see what niggas got to say and laugh. Cause that's one thing about the barbershop. It is funny because niggas be in there wildin',
oh hell
like
yeah.
saying some of the craziest shit. But
So the second topic here for discussion, I thought this was pretty interesting. Six people tell their stories. It's a BuzzFeed news article. Not six people, actually says eight people. The title is Eight People Share What It's Like to Live on 100,000 a year. So some people are single, some people is couples, but overall it's saying they bring in 100,000 a year. And people are talking about their experiences and what it's like living on that. Because people always thought back in the day 100,000 means, oh, I'm about to be living great, I'm about to be living good, blah blah blah, like six figures.
you would think.
Um, yeah, but then you get older and realize inflation, how much they're taxing, things just cost a lot differently from our parents' age
Hmm.
and our parents before our parents. Like homes were like thousands of dollars. You can get a home, a car, all that pretty cheaply. Today, you can't get a real nice looking ass home. Um, depending on what area, but if you live in major cities, you're not gonna get any real good looking home until you hit about 350 and up,
Hmm.
350K and up, depending where you're from. Of course, California, things of that nature, gonna be like a million, maybe 2 million and up. New York and things of that nature. But
Ridiculous.
yeah, for something that's just like basic in some of these places. But across the country, there's a lot of good places. You can buy a lot of land and things and find a nice little crib. But I want to get to some of these people's stories.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna get into every last person, um, but I'm gonna talk about a couple. So there was this couple that was in Birmingham, Alabama. So it's a cheaper place to live. They said their mortgage was 1,300 a month. It was a husband and wife and two children. So the groceries came out to be about 1,200, childcare 750, monthly car
1,200.
payment.
What the fuck
Groceries
they
for
eating?
four
Lobster?
people,
What the fuck is you gonna eat for 1,200?
1,200. Like kids eat snacks, like all that shit. Like
Nigga,
shit is expensive these days. Like
man, they better get some
it depends
oodles
where
and
you
noodles and
shopping.
sit down. 1,200 is a
Man,
lot. That's more than they. That's the cost of their mortgage payment. That's crazy to me.
you know you going 1,200 is not a lot for four people in a
Yes, it
month.
is, bro. Nigga, you know how much spaghetti, spaghetti and sauce I have? Man,
Maybe
stop
like
it.
me personally, like I'm spending probably like 800 a month. It's just me.
For real?
Like I mean, but I eat out. I put that all in groceries, like eating out and shit.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, I eat out a lot. So my grocery bill is like pretty high.
Yeah.
Um, all right, so they got credit card debt 350. They got a monthly student loan, blah blah blah. But the big takeaway here, they quoted, "Do we want to save, which we probably should, or do we want to actually enjoy life?" And we have to make that trade off frequently. And I feel like that's a big thing that a lot of people go through.
Mm-hmm.
especially when you have a family and things of that nature. It's like you want to go out and enjoy life and what they say six figures really do for you. Like you want to live like you feel like six figures live. So you want to be able to go out when you want. You want to be able to go to movies, maybe take your kids to an amusement park or arcade or something like that. Like maybe on a weekend or something like that park. I don't know, whatever people do. But you would think 100K, Alabama, a family, like I would think they'd be all right. What
Yeah,
about you?
I mean Birmingham do got some nice ass, real nice houses. Like it's not super cheap to live in Birmingham. Maybe if you're on the outskirts, but like Birmingham is nice. Um, but I don't know. I feel like 1,200 sound like a lot for groceries for me, but that is a trade off. Speaking on that trade off they were talking about, that's something that you have to do. Like, do I want to save, or do I just want to ball out? Do I want to go eat out like every day of the week? Um,
Yeah, and they got kids and stuff as well, so they had to
right,
think about daycare as well.
right. And but the thing is, let me say this though, because I was just saying this the other day. Like, motherfuckers want to become wealthy. Like, you don't become wealthy by saving money. Like I don't think that's the way to do it. Like you become wealthy by investing. So I think people had a wrong approach when it comes to like trying to build wealth. Like you saving for like a rainy day for real. But if you want to build wealth, you gotta chances make champions. Like you gotta, what I'm saying, put your money where your mouth is for real. Like, but as you
I mean,
said,
I feel like the only rainy day for real is like a savings 401. Okay, like
I mean,
that's
yeah,
the only thing that really like when you retire, that's what you're looking at for real.
no, for
Like,
sure.
yeah, you're gonna have your social security for sure when you get to a certain age, but it ain't
Possibly.
gonna be like that, like that. Um,
No, but there's a lot of shit that could happen. If you own a house, your water heater could break. You might need a new washer and dryer, a new refrigerator. Your car could break down. You can get in a car accident, medical expenses. Like, it's a lot of rainy days that can happen. So it's like those are the types of things that you need to save
yeah,
for.
people get sick as well, like
Yeah.
doctor appointments, things of that nature,
Hmm.
things that you never thought would come up, and you gotta figure that out. Like it gets tough. Your kids could get hurt, like
Yeah.
kids camps.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's talk about kids because you just brought that up, like childcare. So this other person,
I'm
I don't
saying
think
this in
there's
particular is because like they got two kids, and it's like, oh, like we got hella daycare expenses. It's saying 1,100 a month for a decent place.
right.
I'm like, damn, that shit is just like it's expensive to have kids.
That's what I'm
And I feel
saying.
like that's one thing, and particularly that I'm happy like I haven't got to that point yet. It was like with kids, because man, it's expensive to like have y'all little niggas, man. Like
Yeah.
that's really like what I be thinking about. Like now, I'm like, man, do I want them?
Yeah. I question that a lot. I really don't think I want kids for real, to be honest, because I want to be able to spend my money. Money is getting less and less worth. So it's like I don't want to spend that on a kid. Like what? That's stupid. I don't even like kids. Like so I don't think I want to have them for real unless I really meet somebody where like I really want to have kids with her. Like really start a family. Like real like that might happen within the next 5 years. But otherwise, like I'm good on kids, bro. That's
Yeah, I
too
feel
much
like
money.
only reason I really want a kid is just so like
Here you go.
I have someone to take care of me when I'm older, like someone I feel like loves me, like
I didn't even think he was
unconditionally.
gonna take it there, but that's crazy.
Like that's literally
That's
the only
selfish as
reason
hell.
why.
That's selfish.
Like,
You want to put somebody on this earth to struggle? Do you know shit gonna keep
nah, that. What
inflating?
do you mean struggle? Like my kid ain't struggling.
I mean, if motherfuckers making 100K a month, they can't make. But I ain't saying struggle, but I'm saying like trying to make ends meet. Like that shit, I won't wish that on nobody. Like if they have some bad, like I don't know, I won't wish that type of shit on nobody, bro.
Me particularly, like this ain't no relationship pod, but my girl gotta make 100K at least, like herself.
See, if you got two of them incomes, you good, depending on where you live at.
I ain't even gonna say 100K. That's okay. Maybe I'm gonna say 70K. My girl gotta make 70.
Yeah, in order for you to consider it.
Like kids at this point,
Yeah,
yeah.
I mean, kids happen
Like
though.
us together, like we'll be good. But yeah, that's the only way that really makes sense.
Yeah.
And particularly for me, like my girl has to have funds.
No, that's real. But like back to childcare, like yeah, like that shit is expensive as hell, and you want your kids to be, you know what I mean, like stimulated mentally and all those types of things, and want to be in the greatest of care. So they said 1,100 for a decent place. So it's like how really expensive can it get? Do you want to send your kid to private school? Like you said, extracurricular activities, like those
Read off
types of
that one
things.
story from this dude. Like this
From
all the same person.
from Greg.
It's Allison and things of that nature.
Yeah, Allison was Alabama.
He talked about he felt yeah from Greg. I feel bad
Hmm.
as a father. Like kind of what you going into. It's his
Yeah.
story.
Yeah, so like so this dude Greg Pittsburgh, he's 40, lives with his wife and two children. His rent is 2,500 a month. I don't know where the fuck this nigga live at. Nigga live in the
Pittsburgh.
palace. I don't
Yeah,
know if
that's the
Pittsburgh.
thing. Like some people live above their means, and Greg, you living above your means, my guy.
I
Like
mean,
when I
okay,
look
let's
at
see.
this shit,
If you're making 100K a month, I mean a year, 2,500, what's that? That's 25, that's two, 25, 5. That's 60K a year, I think.
but like if you keep scrolling down, tell us about the type of house. So he said the houses market is just different. What used to cost 150,000, 180,000 is now costing 400,000 to 500,000.
That is so true. Yep, I was
So
just talking about that too. Yeah.
that already is like telling you why he got 2,500 a
Hmm.
month
He must
mortgage.
have just bought his shit, cause yeah. But
So yeah, he got him a really nice ass crib, like from him and his fam.
but yeah, like
But he
you don't
bought
want
it's
to.
a trade. It was a trade off. He bought the nice crib.
Yeah.
Now he ain't got all the money for other shit.
Like
In
how
my
you got
opinion,
an
that's what I look
empty
at it.
ass nice crib though? Like that's not. I feel like I
I
would
doubt
probably
it's
do the
empty.
same. I don't. I mean, it's not empty, but it probably ain't what they want it to be yet.
Like
But like,
read more into it because it's more of why I feel like he's having troubles.
okay, let me see. Let me see. So they have
So
budget meetings. Him and his wife. He talked about his son needing some tubes for his ears, so probably like he has some hearing issues, lung issues. So that we talked about that medical expenses.
groceries total
Um,
1,500.
yeah.
Monthly student loan payments an extra 1,500.
Mm-hmm.
Two cars. Kids got baseball camp. Other kid has medical issues.
Yeah. Um, and then he's talking about baseball. So his kids play baseball. Now you need your own bat. You need a helmet, bag, batting gloves, everything just to show up. So you got to spend that shit. Um, they don't even provide you with baseballs. It's crazy. I feel bad as a father. Like I'm failing them a little bit because all the other kids are getting private lessons that cost $800. So I don't know. I don't want to feel like that. Like I want to feel like Superman to my kids. You know, if I do have them, like yo, like I want to be able to support them and they can look up to me and not resent me when they get older. Like, damn, I didn't have a good childhood because you had this big ass house, but we couldn't do nothing. Like we couldn't go get ice cream. We couldn't play baseball. We couldn't do activities. We couldn't go ice skating. You know what I mean? Like I I feel like that's a tough place to be in, especially when you like, oh, I'm about to get this job. I'm about to be up. You know, I'm making 100K
Yeah.
now, and it's like,
And you kind of want to like when you go to like that point, you want to have the same things that like you see other people do.
yeah,
When I say like
keeping
living
up
like
with the
the
Joneses.
Joneses,
Yo.
yeah, like you're trying to portray a certain wealth or class that you just not in,
Mm-hmm.
and for like your expenses. It's like ideally if he didn't have like things with his kid or things like that in that nature, and maybe if the housing was like the market was a little bit lower, they'd probably be pretty good. Like they'd be decent off. They have like be able to save up. But
Mm-hmm.
rainy day, things happen.
Things do indeed
And
happen.
then like now you're just looking at it and like they don't really have any bread to really spend. He said he bought his kid a baseball bat.
Mm-hmm.
And the kid literally started bawling out crying. And
Mm.
he felt like a failure.
Yeah, because he
He's
said
like,
he was
man, it's
buying
all good.
secondhand shit.
Like,
He was buying secondhand shit, so it wasn't brand new. So he kid was probably like, "What the fuck is this?" You
it
know,
was on a birthday too.
on his birthday. That's crazy.
Yeah, and like the kid was just balling out crying. It's like you live in a $400,000-$500,000 home, and your kid's crying for a baseball bat.
Let's end it here though. Like, should we feel sorry for these people that making 100,000 a year? Like some niggas is well under 100,000 a year. They don't make anything near that, and they getting by how they getting by. So we feel sorry for these people that like, oh, I got to this point and now I
It's
can't.
location.
You think it's the location? But niggas in Missouri. This one person said they in West Plains, Missouri. Like, what is that? Somebody said they was in well, L.A.
Yeah, like
Okay, Los Angeles is crazy. Let me see some other location they got up here. I thought I saw like Nebraska, Austin, Texas. I think that's probably expensive right now. Um, okay, it could be location, but at the same time, you could change your location at any point.
location, kids, whether you're
Nobody,
married, they're bringing in
nobody,
anyone.
yeah. But I'm saying a lot of people got 5 kids and make way less than that. You know what I mean? So
Yeah,
should we even be feeling sorry for these people? Like, damn, they down
they don't
bad.
teach people how to budget in school, and
They
like
don't.
it's hard. Like I had to figure it out and still figure it out. Really,
I don't know how to. I know how
like
to budget, but I'm not doing it. I'm just balling out. Fuck it.
I'm. That's the thing. Is like why like I like being alone. Like without
So you could, yeah,
kids and all that kind of
you could
stuff.
do
It's
what the fuck
like
you want to do.
exactly. But like I imagine like if it was like me, my wage now living in a generation before me, I've been really fucking good. Like maybe then I'd be like, man, like why not have a fucking kid? Maybe I don't. I feel like I just don't want a kid because I don't feel like I can really afford it the way to take care of my kid. That's why I don't really want a kid just yet. But that's another reason. I don't feel like I can afford him or
Mm-hmm.
her or whatever.
Right.
And I don't want to feel like Greg. Like
Hell no.
I don't want to feel like a loser.
Like,
So
yeah.
yeah, I mean, I'm just saying what he called himself. By the way, like he called himself a loser and a failure. So
On God, I did not see he said that in that article. You just put that on him. But all right, let's go ahead and get it to 11 before this shit run out. This recording run out. Full disclosure, we doing this shit on Zoom because our regular shit is fucked up. So yeah,
it's on me.
it's all good. But we gotta, niggas be cheap. We don't pay for Zoom, so it's just like, we gotta do the shit in 40-minute increments, piece it together, and we make the magic that y'all hear. So let's go ahead and get into 11
Yeah, we don't normally use Zoom.
Nah, not
Shout
for
out to
real.
Zoom.
Yeah. Shout out to the sponsors, man. If y'all listen to Zoom, you know what I'm saying? Zoom us over a sponsorship so we can goddamn record all the time. But anyway, man. So yeah, let's go ahead and get into 11 where we talk about 3 different singles each, talk about if we love or hate them. I suppose I will read your first one off here. Let's talk about Blessed by Kid featuring Damian Marley. Love or hate?
I had an Uber driver and he was playing this song, and I looked it up. It's a song from 2020 by Kid and Damian Marley, and it was a nice bop. Like I was bobbing my head in the whoop. Like it was a good ass song. So I'm gonna go ahead and go with Love on this track, and I've been playing it back um since I heard it the other day. For real, it's a nice little vibe and a good vibe called Blessed. So make sure you go check that out. The first track that I got here for you is Gucci Mane, Letter to Take Off.
Yeah, Gucci Mane. Of course, we know R.I.P. Takeoff. Takeoff, passed away probably a couple of weeks ago by gunfire. Um, so of course Gucci Mane was close with the Migos, or still is. So we decided to make this song. It's similar to the one he made for Young Dolph when Young Dolph passed away. Was that last year? I think. Yeah, but so this one is very heartfelt. You can hear that the nigga was hurting, like in the song, like just the type of shit he was saying. I never heard Gucci Mane say the type of shit like that. He made a speech at the end, and it was just like, damn, like he really I feel like he really lost somebody that was like a little brother to him, and it's sad. It's some sad shit to see. Like Takeoff, they really killed Takeoff though. Like I be thinking about that like throughout the day. Like they really killed Takeoff. Like Takeoff. Like Takeoff didn't do nothing to nobody, bro. But back to the song.
Yeah,
I'm
I don't know. I've heard so many different stories with the takeoff thing. It don't seem like anyone know.
nobody
Barbershop, they
know.
over there saying Prince did it, and
I mean, they were at. I don't want to speak on it. I don't want to speak on it
then
because
I saw like the little with Jay Prince and them, like they put a little memorial up for him.
you seen that shit.
I saw a picture. It was literally like takeoff name was not there. It was
It
literally
said the
just
Prince
said Jay
family.
Prince yeah,
It said
Prince
the Prince.
family.
I'm like, y'all niggas is crazy.
Like
Y'all really
in
killed
big
this nigga.
rose letters and like yeah, takeoff.
How you
I'm
kill?
like, bro, like
That's some of the
y'all could
illest
have kept
shit.
that shit.
It's for real. That's some of the illest shit. Y'all really killed that nigga and then went to his funeral and put up the Prince family. That's crazy to me. Like that's some of the like that's a crazy chess move to me. But in terms of the song, Letter to Take Off, like shout out to Takeoff and shout out to Gucci Mane. Legends, um, in their own right. So I gotta say
Most
love to that
definitely.
one. All right, let's go ahead and get into your next one right quick. So let's talk about Jigsaw by Key Glock, Love or Hate.
I really fuck with this track. It's from his prelude to his new album he about to drop. And he dropped 5 tracks called Pre 5L. It's a little EP. A few songs on there. It's cool. I feel like it's just more or less just to prepare people. He came out with a video for this
Hmm.
Jigsaw tape, and yeah, it's smooth. It's typical Key Glock shit though. Like it don't sound too different from his normal formula,
Hmm.
but I like some of those artists where they don't really go against like the normal formula like that. Like not everybody got to be change the game and make a new sound for the future, or whatever. Like some people are just good in like their own sound,
Yeah.
and I just think of that when I think of like 3 6 Mafia and shit like that. Like they was good with their own sound.
The thing about Key Glock though, he can do different. I've heard him like spit crazy on different tracks on features and shit. So he can. Like you said, I feel like he just staying in his pocket on purpose because he knows that
Every
works.
song he talk about how much he don't fuck with niggas and like
Yeah.
he don't record with people. Like he really just don't. He don't like what he be saying like is 100% facts. Like he really don't be around other artists like that. It don't seem like he really love making music. He just don't love the industry like games and
Hmm.
politics and getting around, being people face. Like it seems like he's really like that.
Especially after his family member got killed. Like, yeah, he probably really told himself
Even
no.
before that, like he wasn't on songs with niggas. Like
Not
not
for
for real.
real.
Like I
He
ain't
was on
never know
some
Key Glock to really be on tracks like he don't even be having features like that.
he was on some shit with Pee Wee Longway. He was on some shit with Gucci Mane. Like he had a couple, but
Yeah, it's particular. Like
yeah. It was people that really dog fuck with because dog fuck with Longway early and he fuck with Gucci early.
yeah, I
Like
fuck with Pee Wee. Long way.
Pee Wee Longway, Atlanta legend for sure. All right,
Uh-huh.
let's get into this next one. Oh, actually, I think that's you. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, so this next one I got is Sofago. Hell yeah, featuring Ken Carson.
Yeah, man. So Fago, I think he a 2022 XXL freshman, double XL freshman this year.
I know he had a song with Uzi.
Yeah, he had a song with Uzi on there, a song with Don Toliver on there, a song with Pharrell and DJ Khaled, which was like, what the hell?
I can't wait for Don Toliver. He eating up.
Yeah, I think he coming soon. But yeah, this song it was good. I like Ken Carson just because he got like that new. Like I said, my ears are a little different now. Like my listening ears are a little different, so I'm kind of on that new type of shit. And so Fago and Ken Carson just kind of they fit that bill. So I fuck with this one. I'm gonna go ahead and say love on this one. Um, so let's go ahead and get into your last one right quick. Better by Red Veil featuring Sam True. Love or hate.
Okay, so this artist I just recently found out about, and Redville is an 18-year-old dude from I think Maryland.
That PG County it seemed like.
Yeah, bro, like one of the best albums this year. He might be on the list. Like this is a really great project for anyone. Like the way he put the tracks together, his features, the songs, the structures, like This is a really great album. And to be only 18 years old, you're killing it. Um, this was my favorite track on the album, better him and Sam Truth. I don't know anything about Sam Truth just yet, but the way like the beat and everything switch up like towards the middle, and if you guys hear this track, you know what I'm talking about. Like that shit, just like the the instruments and everything, how it goes into play, is really what catches me there. Um, and the hook. So let me go ahead and get into this next track for you. It's ASAP Ant and OGZ Chavez versus Whitaker.
Ass. There's always got to be an ass one. I always feel like including the ass one. ASAP and I clicked on this because I saw OGZ's name. Cause I was fucking with Shoreline Mafia, when they was out, when it was a group, and of course OGZ was like one of the front runners in there. So I was like, let me click on this. I like OGZ shit sometimes. But ASAP Ant he been ruining tracks since like for like at least 10 years. And I always forget because I don't be remembering which ASAP is which. But then every time I'd be like, oh, that's ASAP Ant. Yeah, I'm sorry if you hear this ASAP Ant, but you really not it. I'm sorry. Like he don't really be putting no effort in. Like he be sound like the nigga like I don't know. I don't want to say too much, but yeah, like this song was not it.
I gotta
I wish
look
it
him
was.
up. Like ASAP Ant.
You know who I'm talking about. I'm trying to remember
No, I'm
what
looking him. I see him now.
he
I don't know
ruined.
this. I don't know this ASAP dude.
Yes, you
I
do.
know. I saw the name. Like
He ruined Bath Salts, the song Bath Salts off of Loris Never Worry. He ruined that shit.
I don't know why when you say Ant, I'll immediately think of 12 but I was like, nah, I fuck with 12.
No, 12 hard. 12 hard, but Ant is just not it,
ASAP
bro.
12's hard. Um, yeah, Ant. Nah, I'm not
I'm
fucking
telling you,
with
if you
that.
listen to Bath Salts, you'd be like, what is this nigga doing? He ruined the song. The song is incredible, but
Yeah,
he
it's
ruined
some
it.
real like trash niggas on the ASAP mob, like ASAP Bari, um,
Well, he don't even rap though.
ASAP Ant. Yeah, he's still trash.
This is true.
Um,
This is true. Um,
I don't even get the real hype around Ferg. I ain't even gonna front.
nah, for that work, nigga, you can't deny that work shit hard. Like
Yeah, I
that shit was a joint.
Nast. He ain't never released a full project of nothing.
I forgot about
I
Nast.
don't. I don't even know. Like he just jumps on track and like he's pretty much a hype man. That's what I think of him.
Oh,
And
I
just look at
remember
this whole
Nast.
ASAP team. It's like they none of them like really like ASAP Miaz was he a visionary?
Yeah, he was.
No, don't seem like it. I'm like this ASAP and like this ASAP crew is like, and then they didn't turn up to how like niggas try to make them seem like
Yeah.
ASAP is looking real bad these days, and they crew
Hey,
never amounted to anything amongst the original hype.
not
Like
for
to be
real.
real,
It could have been because it's really just Rocky, but Rocky don't drop shit.
yeah, they make little mixtapes.
Ferg was number two, and you
Yeah,
already said you weren't really fucking with Ferg like that. So
yeah. Ferg make good music though. I'm not shitting on Ferg. Like, Ferg, he makes some good songs, but it's just like it's cool.
he might have more hits than Rocky though, to
Got
be
to
honest.
his little club thing. So
Did Ferg got more hits than Rocky? I don't know.
I don't know. Do I like listen to Rocky more than Ferg? Yes.
Yes, absolutely.
I don't know. So I don't
Yeah,
know if that answers the question for people, but
yeah.
I'm not listening to an ASAP Ferg hit unless it's like back in the day.
What was that one
Like
shit?
work.
Do a lie, checking with me. Like, what was that shit called? I forgot who was on it.
Work.
But like, work with
Work.
nigga ain't gonna act like work wasn't hard as hell. Like
Yeah,
that
like
shit was
he has,
so
that's what I'm saying.
hard,
Like he got some songs,
bruh.
but I feel like you just got to be in the studio with that nigga to really fuck with it like how he fuck with it.
Yeah, probably so.
Like I feel like being in a studio except for like that should be lit. Like I'd be bouncing my head like this nigga is the truth.
He bring the energy. That's one
Yeah,
thing he gonna bring.
I don't know what it is.
Yeah. But all right, let's get into these highlights for the time run out. You got anything to highlight this week?
Uh, so I'm gonna say my highlight is it's probably an album I'm gonna cover a little bit more. later on once I get a few more listens to it. But it's Euphonyus, and it's
Oh
from
yeah.
Phony Ppl. They just
Yep.
released their project, and I'm gonna make sure I spell this out: EUPHONYUS.
Mm-hmm.
It's an R&B soul album. They got a few features on there. It's pretty good. They're pretty much my favorite band, black band to go see live. They're amazing. You're always gonna have a good time. They always get the crowd involved. Um, so yeah, go check out that project with Funny People. What about you?
Yes, sir. Check that out. I got to talk about Armani Caesar, man. Best female rapper from New York right now. What is the Ice Spice? What is the Cardi B? Like best
Oh,
female rapper
man, you're
from
so
New York.
fucking disrespectful.
It's facts.
Knowing Nicki
It's
Minaj is
facts.
still alive and breathing.
She just put out some bullshit though. But let me wrap this up before we run out of time. So Armani Caesar,
Bob
listen to
Nation.
the listen to the Liz 2 by Armani Caesar. Her shit is fire, flames. The beat selection crazy. West Side Gun on there, Kodak Black on there. That shit is fire, bro. Just check it out. You're gonna understand once you hear it. But other than that, it's been the Friends Podcast, man.
Man, Hitler wear Hermes 10.
That shit hard too. But this has been the Friends
That's what I've been on.
Podcast. And thank you for listening. We out.
Peace.